Welcome to Gaming Rarities. I'm Dan. Thank you for clicking and for watching. I hope you're all doing okay. Today we are continuing on our lengthy quest to find all of the PlayStation 2 cardboard. We also collect PSP cardboard, but today we're hopefully adding two new bits to the PlayStation 2 cardboard set. These have come from eBay. I'll explain a bit more on the footage when we open it. I'm also going to be opening a massive CEX Roulette. It's down there. I'm not going to pick it up because it's big. Also, when I open a parcel, normally I have the camera kind of on a stand so I can use both hands to open it. This parcel that's down there, the CEX Roulette, it's not going to be possible to film that way because it's so big. So I'm going to have to kind of freehand it and use one hand to open it. So apologies if the footage is a bit ropey when it comes to opening it. But yeah, hopefully some nice additions. Still getting over the disappointment of the last video, but I'm hoping for a lot more optimism this time when it comes to these ones. These are from eBay, so you do get to see what you order from there. I've seen pictures, so as long as it lives up to the pictures, I'll be happy. One of these pieces of cardboard is one I did not know exist. I have never seen before. I've done research on it. I've not found a smidgen of information on the internet about it whatsoever. So it's obviously extremely rare. Came across it on eBay. 2 boxes from the same buyer, same seller, sorry. He does have quite a few games on there. There is another triple pack from the same seller on his eBay that I really do want, but it's so expensive. But that's the only way I've ever seen it. I've never seen that triple pack anywhere else either. So this guy does obviously have good taste, but he knows what he's got, so it's expensive stuff. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into these. We'll open it, we'll talk about it, we'll come back, we'll talk some more, and yeah, I'll see you in a minute. So here we go, the first box of 3 in this week's pack opening. Hope you're enjoying these videos. Going for a full set of PS2 cardboard. It takes you all over the globe. This piece is, I think, a German exclusive. And this piece actually is the first time I've ever purchased an empty box. Yeah, I've finally done it. I think it's insane that I'm spending money on essentially coloured cardboard. But that is what I collect. That's the journey I'm taking. That's the choice I made. And I must add that this was packaged beautifully. The other parcel, again, was also packaged very well. So shout out to the seller for the packaging. So yeah, as you saw, this is a SingStar box set. This is really quite difficult to come across this box. It has 5 games in it. We'll get to which ones they are shortly, once I eventually get into it. So yeah, an empty box, but it comes with 5 SingStar games. So I do actually own all 5 of those SingStar games. If you're a fan of the channel, you will have seen that I have the double box sets of these SingStars, and yeah, they're all available there. So I do own them. I could make this a full set, but I will try and get them separately. So the seller very sensibly has included just 5 empty DVD cases, but it keeps the box structure, keeps it all crisp and nice, and has obviously travelled well in the post, so really happy he did that. So yeah, just got to find the games for these. I think they're all foreign. I don't think you can get any of those in the UK, so probably still be a bit of a struggle, but I'll show you the price difference at the end. That the same seller, he had a box with all the games in, and it was a crazy amount. This one only cost me $28.50 delivered, so we can handle that. We'll source the other games. There is the original double set that I was talking about. 6 games in total, 3 different double packs. Yeah, there is more SingStar cardboard coming at some point, but yeah, a nice little set. And on to the main event of this week's video. I think this one, I was very interested when I saw this on eBay. It did have a few watches. It was quite expensive for what it is, but I've never seen it before. I want to know the history behind it because I could find nothing. I did research about it. I searched everywhere online. Nothing at all gave me any information about this. So if you do know anything about this or have seen it before, even if you've just seen it once, just let me know, because I've never seen it before. And that's what I really enjoy about this type of collecting, is seeing things like this that, yeah, it is just a basic game with a bit of cardboard around it, but at the end of the day, it's really rare. You just never ever see things like this. And that's what I love. Just that kind of treasure hunting, finding things that you just never see. So here we have, actually, if you watched last week's video, you would have seen this game in German, which was a fail. But this week we have the English version of SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie. Now this is a big box, massive, thick box version. I don't know why. I want to know why. Why would they create this massive box for this? So on the eBay listing, there was visible damage, which you can see on one side, but thankfully that other side will display fine on the shelf. It's a bit dented, but I'm okay with that. So this cost me $48.50, including all fees and delivery. I think it was $45 for the actual product itself, which again is quite a lot of money for what it is, but never seen it before. Know nothing about it. So it's one of those ones that has that kind of window. I've seen similar things before. There's a Scarface one that has a similar window that's got a Velcro thing on it. Yeah, there's just nothing in this box though. And that's what makes me wonder what was in this box, because there's no way this was... I don't think this was sold. My guess, if I could guess what this is that it's some sort of promo piece that just was never really meant for sale. But if you'd think if it had a peripheral in it, which this is the same size box as kind of an iToy box. So you'd think if it came with an iToy, or it's not an iToy game, but you know, something similar, that it would... yeah, you'd be able to find more of it, or it would say on the box that it comes with the extra peripheral, but very strange. Again, the seller has left in a few empty cases to keep the box nice and square. It is sadly missing a tab up the top there, which you can see. But overall, I know it's got a little bit of damage on one side, but I'm happy with that. I don't mind things like that when it's kind of a one-of-a-kind piece. Yeah, know nothing about it. Really, really interested if anybody can find out anything about this. Disc is all in there. Game's nice and complete. Disc was in really good condition. So yeah, lovely piece to add to the shelf. Very happy with this one. Yeah, really, really strange piece. Let's go on to today's massive CEX Roulette. Just size-wise, it's big. This box is too big for what it is, really. This is the biggest box that CEX provide, I think. Yeah, we'll just remove anything with my address on it. So inside this box is going to be hopefully a Xbox 360 collector's edition, one that you don't see too often. There's a bit of promo material and a lot of this recyclable bubble wrap. There it is. I don't know if you can see, but that is the Resident Evil 6 collector's edition for the Xbox 360. Now, I've had this a couple of times before. This is one that CEX do have too cheap. There you can see I paid £48 for it plus postage. It goes for a lot more, probably nearer double that on eBay. Both the PS3 version as well. And I've ordered this, I think, 2 times before and flipped it. I've done that a couple of times. That's how I make my money to buy all these crazy pieces of PS2 cardboard. I'd buy things for cheap from charity shops and whatever, Vinted, and trade them in and buy things like this to flip. But unfortunately, as you can see, the outer case of this one is really bad. That tape, hazardous tape on there, is not meant to be on there. It's not part of it. Somebody has added that extra to keep it intact. There is a full tear down that whole corner there that I'm pulling at. If that tape wasn't on there, it would be falling apart. Now, as I said, I've had this a couple of times before, and both times there were big rips in that outer box. It really is a poor design. The material is not great for an outer box. It's really thin plastic. It does come apart quite easily. The first one I ever had was fine. The second one was pretty bad, but this is definitely the worst of the three. It really is split thoroughly in at least one whole side and lots of other bits. Yeah, it's really being held together by tape. So inside this special edition is a hoodie, still in the packaging, which is good, although it does look like it's been out of the packaging, definitely. There are lots of other bits in there. Quick question for you, side question. Any collector's edition with clothes in, would you ever wear them out of the house? I just can't bring myself to do it. I just think it needs to stay in with the collector's edition. There you see the game. It is still sealed, which is a big plus. Not something you see too often from CEX. They love to open games and whenever they buy them in, but somebody was sensible and left that sealed. There's the steel book that you get with it. Obviously empty, but yeah, you can open the game and put the discs in if you wish. There's an art book, and there are the medallions that you get with it. So yeah, I was really debating what to do with this one. It's just that outer case. It's really bad. I mean, that tape makes it a bit different, I guess, but that should not be there. Didn't know whether to return this one or try and flip it, but yeah, still a bit unsure. Anyway, here's the other down. So there we have it. Let's start with the positives. The PlayStation 2 cardboard. Very happy, especially with that SpongeBob. I knew one side was ripped, as I said, but that other side's going to display fine. And what is it? Where's it come from? What else was in that box? Because it for sure didn't come with 3 empty other DVD cases in there. But, you know, it's just such a strange size box. Was it just padding to kind of have that, you know, open flap thing so you could look in? Or did it have some sort of, I don't know, you think if it had a peripheral in there, it would say on the box. So really strange, definitely an oddity. Really happy with it though. Yeah, really happy with that. Never seen it before. If anybody knows anything about the existence of that, please do let me know. The other box, yeah, much cheaper to buy it with just the box than without the games. I do already own the games, as you saw. I'm going to have to source them separately though, which they shouldn't be too expensive, right? SingStar games, so much cheaper than buying the box with all the games in. I'll put the prices up now for what the same guy was charging with all the games in. Yeah, really happy with that as well. SingStar though, it's SingStar, but it's another piece to knock off the list. I'll source the games, I'll get them a lot cheaper. Yeah, an empty box is a first. Don't like paying money for just cardboard really, but that's kind of what I do. So slightly more negative was the CEX Roulette. That infection tape, yeah, not seen that before. Don't know whether that's just seems odd for that to be there. As I said, I've had I think 2 roulettes of this before and never seen that before. The case, the box, obviously ripping is a thing that it does. It's just kind of poorly designed and it always happens. I've yet to have one. I think the first one I ever got was okay, but that's probably the worst. That's got a whole side ripped. So yeah, a bit unsure as to what to do. Obviously the game being sealed in there is a bit of a plus, definitely. Everything else on the inside looked fine. There was a small smell of smoke in there, like the previous owner was a smoker, which is a shame. But I don't know. See, now I did buy that one purely to flip because CEX have that too cheap. It's the only way I can afford to buy the cardboard I buy is through doing things like that. You know, I source cheap games or DVDs or whatever, flip them into CEX, get the voucher, buy things like that with the voucher, which normally costs me around the halfway point. So that cost me 48, 50 pounds, whatever in total. So if I say it's cost me only 25 really, and then I can sell it on eBay or Vinted and, you know, make some money and then buy the cardboard. That's what I've been doing for a long time. But this one, I'm unsure whether to return it or not. The condition is really not great, but I mean, purely on the outside, but that's the bit that you display. It's the important bit. So unsure. I may put it on my Vintage. You may see it on there. If it's not on there, it's either sold or it's gone back. Yeah, a bit unsure as to what to do with that one. But there it is. we'll see. Happy with the other PlayStation 2 cardboard though. More pieces to the collection. I'm sure there'll be more to come. Unsure what's coming next week. I'm filming this miles in advance, so whatever you see next week will be a surprise to me as well. But I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.